Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Amber. For today's video, we're going to be talking about October's TBR. I am, for the most part, going to be going with the TBR jar, but unlike the last two TBR jars, I'm not just going to be picking from my physical books. I also have from like Stuff Your Kindle Day and that. I have a ton of books on my Kindle library that I also really want to get to, and I always forget about them. So we're also going to be picking from this. For next month, there's a couple books that I really want to get to that I'm going to mention. If they fit with one of the TBR prompts, I'm going to pick them. But if not, I'm still going to keep them on there. And one of those is A Study in Drowning by Ava Reed. That one I really want to get to. I know I'm not going to end up getting to that by the end of this month. So I am going to add that into next month's TBR. And then another one that I don't have yet. There's actually two that get released this month that I will be reading. And that's going to be Two Twisted Crowns by Rachel Gillig. That is the second book in the Shepherd Kings series. The first one is One Dark Window. I was obsessed with that. I absolutely loved that. Stupid fly. I absolutely loved that story, so I cannot wait for the next one to come out. That one comes out on October 19th, so I will be getting to that. The next book is probably my most anticipated read for this whole entire year. Yeah, it definitely is. And that would be A Curse for True Love by Stephanie Garber. That is the third book in the Once Upon a Broken Heart series. I am absolutely obsessed. I cannot stop thinking about those books. Jackson particularly. I cannot wait to get back into that world. I am dying for it. And that comes out on October 24th. I don't care what book I'm in middle of reading. The day that that comes out, I am dropping everything I'm doing and I'm sitting down and binging that book in like one sitting. Let's get into the TBR jar, picking my reads for October. Okay, first up we have a book with a cartoon cover. I'm not gonna lie, the ones that I have over, like the physical books that I have of that, I'm not feeling. I really don't want it. So we're gonna look through our Kindle library. Let's see. Honestly, this almost feels like cheating, but at the same time it doesn't, because like I did say that if it fit the prompt, I was gonna put it in here. So we're going with A Study in Drowning by Ava Reed, because that is a cartoon cover. So we're going with it. So that's gonna be for that one. Okay. Next up. Oh, and I forgot to say, I'm gonna go with like probably 8 books. A book with a one-word title. Ooh, okay. Perfect. We're gonna go with Powerless by Lauren Roberts. That is one that I have really been wanting to read bad, and I just haven't got to it. So for the one-word title, we're going with Powerless by Lauren Roberts. That's gonna be on my Kindle. Because I believe that's, I'm like 90% positive that's a Kindle Unlimited book. So. This is already going so good. A seasonal. This TBR jar this month is really just 100% my friend. I couldn't have asked for better prompts so far. So, I've been putting this off for so long. I'm going to go with A Dowry of Blood by S.T. Gibson. I was waiting until October to get to this book, so we're going to pick that for the seasonal book. I feel like it's unfair to look. I spoke too soon. a book that's over 500 pages. I'm going to go with The Song of the Marked, and that's by S.M. Gaither. This one is 563 pages. So we're going to go with this one. We're going to go into the next one now. Oh. A book you haven't heard a lot about. I'm going to pick Belle Morte by Bella Higgins. I have not really heard anything on this book. I saw it in Barnes & Noble one day and decided to pick it up. So I'm going to pick this one. So we have 4 books. A book that you thrifted. I'm going to go with A Touch of Darkness by Scarlett St. Clair. I got this off Pango Books. This is a Kindle Unlimited book, so I'll probably end up reading it on my Kindle. But I have the physical copy. Since I got the one that's over 500 pages, I'm only going to pick one more. I'm going to do 7 instead of 8 because I am also going to be reading A Curse for True Love, and 2 Twisted Crowns. Okay, we're just going to pick one more. I know I'm not going to get all these, but I have been mood reading hardcore lately, so at least that gives me a couple options for between books to pick from. So, okay, a book that matches your outfit. Okay, well, I'm wearing a Nike sports bra with a black sweatshirt with some light blue workout shorts. So, hear me out. Instead of going color-wise, because I don't really have any black and blue books, I'm going to go off vibes. I'm in workout clothes. So, we're going to go with like a sports romance type thing because I have a lot of like fantasy books in there. I'm going to pick The Wrong Game by Candy Steiner. Never heard anything about it, but we're going to go with it. Okay, so we have our TBR now. So we're going with a book with a cartoon cover is going to be A Study in Drowning by Ava Reed, which that one just came out a couple days ago. And basically it's like a gothic fantasy elements to it, but it's a girl that's in like an architectural college, and they don't, like, females just don't go to college. She wanted to be in like a literature college, but they don't accept her. They don't accept women there. So she goes to the architectural college, and she has like this opportunity to work on her favorite author's like house, and there's a literature student there, they're enemies, who is like trying to prove that her favorite author is a fraud. And then they start like working together to uncover these weird mysteries in it. I don't know the whole thing on it, but it sounded really interesting. It sounded good. Then a book with a one-word title. We're going with, what did I say I was going with on that? Oh, Powerless by Lauren Roberts. That one, let me look up the synopsis to that. This one is part of a trilogy, and it says she is the very thing he spent his whole life hunting. He is the very thing she spent her whole life pretending to be. Only the extraordinary belong in the kingdom of Ilya. The exceptional, the empowered, the elites. Power these elites have possessed for decades were graciously gifted to them by the plague, though not all were fortunate enough to both survive the sickness and reap the reward. Those born ordinary are just that, ordinary. And when the king decreed that all ordinaries be banished in order to preserve his elite society, lacking in ability suddenly became a crime, making Peyton Gray a felon by fate and a thief by necessity. Surviving in the slums as an ordinary is no simple task, and Peyton knows this better than most. Having been trained by her father to be overly observant since she was a child, Peyton poses as a psychic in the crowded city, blending in with the elites as best she can in order to stay alive and out of trouble. Easier said than done. When Peyton unsuspectingly saves one of Ilya's princes, she finds herself thrown into the purging trials. The brutal competition exists to showcase the elite's powers, the very thing Peyton lacks. If the trials and the opponents within them don't kill her. The prince she's fighting feelings for certainly will if he discovers what she is, completely ordinary. Sounds really good. Can't wait to read that one. Then we have a book that you thrifted, and that is A Touch of Darkness by Scarlett St. Clair. This one is a Persephone's in Hades retelling. Persephone is the goddess of spring by title only. The truth is, since she was a little girl, flowers have shriveled at her touch. After moving to New Athens, she hopes to lead an unassuming life disguised as a mortal journalist. Hades, god of the dead, has built a gambling empire in the mortal world, and his favorite bets are rumored to be impossible. After a chance encounter with Hades, Persephone finds herself in a contract with the god of the dead, and the terms are impossible. Persephone must create life in the underworld or lose her freedom forever. The bet does more than expose Persephone's failures as a goddess, however, as she struggles to sow the seeds of her freedom. Love for the god of the dead grows, and it's forbidden. Then we have a seasonal book, and I picked A Dowry of Blood by S.T. Gibson. This is like Dracula's first wife. It says, so begins the tale of Constanta, first bride to Dracula. So begins a tale of obsession, desire, and control. So begins her revenge. Saved from the brink of death by a mysterious stranger, Constanta is transformed from a medieval peasant into a bride fit for an undying king. But when Dracula draws a cunning aristocrat and a starving artist into his web of passion and deceit, Constanta realizes that her beloved is capable of terrible things. So I've heard really mixed things on this, but I am excited to get to it. Then we have a book you haven't heard a lot about, and that's Belle Morte by Bella Higgins. This one says, one of 5 houses where vampires live like celebrities and humans are paid to be their living donors. While others came here seeking fortune, Rennie Mayfield came in search of her sister, who walked into Bella Morte 5 months ago and never walked out. However, the secrets about this world have proven to be much bigger than she ever anticipated, and lurking around every corner are shocking insinuations about what happened to her sister. There's only one person who might have the answers Rennie needs, and the undeniable pull she feels towards him is terrifying. Edmond Dantes, a vampire and her mortal enemy. The harder she tries to resist him, the further she falls under his spell. In one instant, her life is irrevocably changed. Rennie's past becomes her prologue, and her fate is sealed behind these doors. Then we have a book that is over 500 pages, and that is The Song of the Marked by S.M. Gaither. This one is mercenary Cassia Graythorn cares about 2 things: completing whatever her latest job is and earning enough coin to buy the expensive medicine that's keeping her mentor alive. So when the king himself offers her a job, she can't resist the massive reward he offers, even if it means working with Captain Elander, the arrogant, mysterious right hand of the king. Her partner may be infuriating, but at least their mission seems simple and quick enough. Investigate the origins of the strange plague that's been ravaging their empire, help find a cure, and then call it a day. But in a land brimming with old magic and meddling gods, nothing is ever that simple, and nothing is ever what it seems. As the bodies pile up and strange monsters begin to wreak havoc throughout the realms, Cass and Elander will have to work together to protect their world, whether they like it or not. Because one thing is clear, something ancient and evil is stirring in the shadows of that world, and their empire will not survive its full unleashing. That sounds really good. Then I have a book that matches your outfit, and I am in sportswear, so that one we are going with The Wrong Game by Candy Steiner. And that one's on Kindle Unlimited, and it says 2 season tickets, 1 genius idea, 0 interest in a relationship. The plan is simple. A brand new, hot, preferably funny, definitely single male will fit one of those seats for every Bears games at Soldier Field, and I'll fill the other. I can't think of a better way to use the season passes I'd bought for my ex-husband. I am a woman of plans, and this one's foolproof. Until Zach Bowen offers to be my practice round. He's infuriating, presumptuous, and overbearing, and absolutely undeniably gorgeous. Any woman with a heartbeat would be attracted to him, and mine picks up speed every time he speaks. But as I said, I'm a woman of plans, and I'm not backing down on this one. 1 night, 1 game, and then his time's up. He can try to change the rules, but here's the truth. He can't win if he's playing the wrong game. And this says it's a standalone, angsty, enemies to lovers sports romance. So, that is our TBR. Oh, and then also, obviously, 2 Twisted Crowns by Rachel Gillig that comes out on the 19th. And then also I'll be reading A Curse for True Love by Stephanie Garber. And that comes out on the 24th. And I cannot freaking wait for that book. I am dying for it. I have this whole entire TBR, but I'm not going to lie to you. Even though at the beginning of this month I did read both Once Upon a Broken Heart and The Ballad of Never After, I'm probably going to push this whole entire TBR off and end up reading those two before that one comes out. So am I really going to get to this TBR? The odds aren't in my favor. But I'm going to try to get to this. I typically read anywhere from 4 to 6 books a month. This month, I'm going to try and really push myself and read more. So we're going to try and get to that. I'm hoping that it's successful. That is all I have for you guys today. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you liked this video, please leave a thumbs up. It helps out my videos tremendously. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to stay up to date with all my future videos. And I hope to see you in the next one.